Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in into my YouTube channel. My name is Fuemgumi, your online tutor. In the last episode, I talked about the 5 types of head teachers, and I have received some reactions. And today I would like to respond to one question that came from one of you. And the question is, does the leadership style of those 5 types of head teachers have any relevance to other areas of leadership? And the answer is yes. Though the focus of the study was to discover as to why some of the school principals succeed in their leadership, whereas others fail, the researchers stated categorically that those 5 types of head teachers have some relevance to other areas of leadership. And so, if you are a political leader, or if you are a religious leader, or a corporate leader for that matter, you can go to my YouTube channel, Blebrand, and search the 5 types of head teachers. It is my hope after watching that episode, you will pick some points from the leadership style of those 5 types of head teachers, and you can improve your leadership style. Today I am going to talk about the school development plan or the school improvement plan. What is it? How can you make one? But before, let me take this opportunity to ask you, my viewers, to like my video, to drop a comment in the comment section, but again to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, let's talk a little bit about the school development plan. What is it, and how can you make one? The school development plan is a strategic plan for the school development. This strategic plan must bring in a clear and simple way all the strategies and all the priorities and the actions that the school will take in order to improve its standards. This will act as a roadmap which the school will take in the process of improving its standards. And this comes after what we call the process of self-evaluation. And the school development plan has 5 key stages, and it is very important for you to understand these key stages, because if you want to develop and make a proper school development plan, you must go through these 5 stages. And so, in this episode, I am going to explain and expound these 5 stages of school development plan. And without wasting much time, let's go straight to stage number 1. And the stage number 1, you will ask yourself a question. What is our vision for our school? This is very important because any school development plan must begin with a clear statement of the school ethos, the school's mission statement and vision. These are very important because they provide a clear sense of purpose of the school. but again, they provide a clear direction of the school and the future aspiration of the school. In any organization, if it has the mission statement, the vision, and core values, it means the organization has objectives. And how can the organization exist without objectives? And that's why I say it is very, very important for you to ask yourself a question: what is our vision for our school? It's very important. The second stage in making the school development plan is to ask yourself the question: how well are we doing? And as I said, in order to make a good school development plan, you must go through a process of self-evaluation. Now, the second stage is the actual stage of evaluating yourself. And that's why you ask yourself, how well are we doing? Now, I must warn you that in this stage, in the name of all that is holy, you have to be truthful. You have to be candid. You have to be honest to yourself. That is very important, because it won't help you if you say what you are not. At this stage, it is very important that you paint a true picture of your school. Now, the first stage in asking or answering the question, how well are we doing? The first thing is to list down the parameters of which you are going to evaluate yourself. Now, for example, in a school, you say, we are going to evaluate ourselves in the area of academic performance. That is the first parameter. But again, you can list another parameter. Say, for example, we are going to evaluate ourselves in the area of financial status or financial position of your school. That is the second parameter. You can add another parameter. Let's say we are going to evaluate ourselves in the area of customer care. How well are we doing in that area? You can go on and list all those areas as you wish. After listing down those parameters, now you need to ask yourself this question: how well are we doing in relation to those parameters? But again, you will ask yourself, how well are we doing compared to ourselves? In other words, you need to go down 3 to 5 years back. So if it is in the parameter of academic performance, you go down, go back 3 to 5 years and ask yourself, how well are you doing in terms of academic? How well were you performing 3 years back, or 4 years back, or 5 years back? And then you will need to ask yourself, are you comfortable with the way you were performing? Are there areas that you need to improve? Or do you want to maintain the status? Do you want to maintain the level that you have attained? Those are the questions that you need to ask yourself at this stage. How well are you doing compared to to yourself? But again, you will need to ask yourself, how well are we doing compared to other schools? This is very important, because you will need to look at how well are you doing compared to other schools in your locality. But again, you can take a step further and say, how well are you doing compared to other schools in the district? How well are you doing compared to other schools in the region? How well are you doing compared to other schools national wise? Those are the questions. Because I have seen some of the schools that goes around and brag themselves as good schools, better performing schools. They do so because they have compared themselves with other schools in their locality. But what if you place them on the regional stage? Will they be able to say that they are good and better performing schools? And what if you place them on the national stage or on the global stage? So that's why it is very important to compare yourselves with other schools in your locality, in the district, region, and national wise. But again, you need to ask yourself, how well are we doing compared to board's targets? Because I believe any serious board of directors will set the goals and targets for you to reach or attain. Now you need to ask yourself, am I reaching the targets that were set by the board of directors? You need to ask yourself that question. After doing so, it is my hope now that you have known the true status of your school. You can even grade it that it is a better performing school in all the parameters that you listed, or it is a school that is not performing well in all the parameters that you have listed. Now you go to the third stage, which is what more do we want to achieve in 1 to 3 years to come? And here you're talking of making the goals, or you determine priorities, things that you would want to achieve, or things that you need to improve after your self-evaluation. And here it is very important for you to pick and list down few key priorities that can be attained. Key and few priorities that are manageable, that can be achieved, rather than taking too many major development goals and plans that are not manageable, that cannot be implemented. So it is very important for you to choose and pick few priorities and goals that you can achieve, rather than just taking too many major development plans that cannot be attained. Now, the fourth stage, what must we do to make it happen? And if you are a keen student, you must have noticed that I am now talking about the strategic plan. Because it is in this stage where you develop a strategic plan. You are setting out the actions that you are going, how are you going to implement those priorities that you just outlined in stage number 3. And it is very important for you to notice that at this stage, these action plans must be supported by detailed policies. In other words, when you ask yourself, what do we want to achieve? It must be followed by another question, how do we want to achieve it? But again, you need to ask yourself, what are the resources that will be required to achieve our aim? Again, who will be involved in the implementation? Those are the serious questions that you will ask yourself at this stage, and you must find an answer to each question. But again, who will measure progress? And how will he measure progress? But also it is very important at this stage to put the time frame. When are you going to achieve that aim or that goal? You don't just leave it like that. You must say, what do we want to achieve? How do we want to achieve it? What are the resources that will be required, whether financial or human resources? But who will be involved in the implementation? And how will you measure the progress? And who will measure the progress? But again, you put the time frame. That is stage number 4. But again, stage number 5 is what we call take action and review progress. But before I explain here, at this stage, stage number 5, the school development plan must be communicated to all stakeholders. It is very important that all stakeholders knows what the school intends to do. So communication is also very important. Now, stage number 5, take action and review progress. After the school development plan has been approved, this is the stage where implementation takes place. And it is very important that the implementation of the school development plan is done with effectiveness and also with efficiency. There must be effectiveness and efficiency in the implementation of the school development plan. But also it is very important that at this stage you monitor the progress. Alright? You monitor the progress regularly. And if you find that there are any challenges or difficulties in the implementation, you solve those challenges. If there are any slippage, you correct those slippage in the implementation stage, so that the implementation stage of the school development plan goes smoothly without any challenge. If you find any challenge, you solve that challenge. You solve that problem to make sure that you implement the school development plan smoothly. That is all for today. Until next time, it's me, Fue Mgumi, your online tutor. Thank you.